Regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old because when I did MTV Crib.
And they're setting me up, and Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me.
Aaron Carter's life ended in tragedy, but it's the bizarre details surrounding his final hours that have left fans and investigators grappling for answers. A pop icon of the early 2000s, Aaron was no stranger to struggle, openly battling mental health and addiction issues. But what seemed like another celebrity tragedy has quickly spiraled into a web of questions and contradictions, shattering the surface narrative. How does a life filled with so much promise end so suddenly and so mysteriously? Stick around because this story gets stranger with every detail.
Official autopsy results have finally been released. It only took 5.5 months. And honestly, I feel like we are left with more questions than answers at this point.
At the center of the confusion lies the official ruling: accidental drowning. Sure, it sounds straightforward. The coroner pointed to inhalation of compressed gas, a substance Aaron had been linked to in the past, and sedative medications. But if this case were so cut and dry, why did the toxicology report take months to surface? Why have details about Aaron's final hours remained murky at best? Delays and discrepancies like these often raise eyebrows, but they're just the tip of the iceberg. Perhaps the most unsettling twist involves the behavior of Aaron's housekeeper. When neighbors, including a medically trained nurse, heard the emergency call and rushed to help, they were met with locked doors and a housekeeper who allegedly refused to let them in. Imagine someone's life potentially hanging in the balance, and instead of allowing critical aid, the person on site opts to delay access. It doesn't end there. When police finally arrived, she reportedly attempted to prevent them from entering too. Why? Panic, guilt, or something more sinister? The actions seem to defy logic, especially considering the urgency of the situation. Then there's the timing. Questions arose about how long Aaron's body was left in the bathtub before the discovery. Hours passed, raising questions about what occurred during that window of time. It's unsettling to think about, especially when paired with Aaron's recent public statements. In the days leading up to his death, Aaron expressed fears for his safety, sharing cryptic messages about feeling targeted.
And Brad Paisley was sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money and they're trying to...
Was he paranoid, or was he onto something? His concerns now seem hauntingly prophetic, adding another layer of intrigue to an already puzzling case. Each detail deepens the mystery, creating a swirl of suspicion and heartbreak. And yet, this is only the beginning. As investigators continue piecing together the timeline of his final moments, questions about Aaron's connections and potential threats he faced are coming to light. What, or who, was Aaron so afraid of? And how does this tie into some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry? It's time to explore the shadows and connect the dots to a name that keeps popping up in the most unexpected ways: Diddy. Photos of Aaron Carter and Diddy from years past are now being re-examined with a critical eye, suggesting a relationship that may have been more than just a passing acquaintance. These images, once seen as snapshots of Hollywood camaraderie, have taken on a darker tone in light of Aaron's claims of exploitation by powerful people.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that.
As a young and vulnerable star, Aaron was thrust into an industry rife with manipulation and excess, and whispers suggest that Diddy may have played a pivotal role in shaping and possibly shattering his trajectory. Could Diddy have been one of the handlers Aaron referenced in his ominous messages about the dark side of fame? Then there are Aaron's cryptic warnings. In one of his final tweets, he reached out to Kanye West, writing, "Yo Kanye, let's talk man to man." This wasn't a casual invitation. It was a plea, a signal that Aaron had something urgent to share with someone who was also making waves by exposing industry secrets. Combined with Aaron's repeated expressions of fear and his claims to hold damning information, it's no wonder fans and investigators alike are now questioning whether his death was truly an accident or if it was something far more calculated. The stakes grow even higher with claims that the FBI is investigating Aaron's death as part of a broader inquiry into Diddy's alleged connections to mysterious deaths in Hollywood. From Aaron Carter to Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend who passed away under similarly unclear circumstances, the dots are starting to connect. Could it all be coincidence, or is there a pattern of silencing those who know too much? For years, rumors have swirled about Diddy's influence, extending far beyond music, encompassing manipulation and even darker accusations. Aaron's tragic demise might just be the thread that unravels a much larger tapestry of secrets. As more details emerge, the whispers of Hollywood handlers and exploitative power dynamics grow louder. Aaron Carter's life may have ended abruptly, but his story refuses to fade into obscurity. Instead, it's becoming a focal point in the conversation about fame, control, and the dangerous underbelly of the entertainment industry. And this isn't just about Aaron. His death is forcing a closer look at Diddy, a figure whose power and reputation could be hanging in the balance. And the connections only get darker. Kanye West, no stranger to controversy, dropped bombshell allegations about a web of manipulation in Hollywood, revealing how his former trainer Harley Pasternak threatened to institutionalize him and render him powerless. But Kanye's accusations didn't stop there. He pointed directly to Diddy as a key figure in this network, suggesting that Aaron Carter's desperate attempt to reach out before his death was no coincidence. Was Aaron seeking Kanye's help to expose the same chilling secrets? Kanye's allegations against Harley Pasternak read like the plot of a psychological thriller. Text messages shared by Kanye showed Pasternak threatening to medicate him into a zombie-like state if he didn't comply with certain demands. An astonishing level of control for someone who was supposed to be a fitness trainer. But Pasternak's alleged background in psychological operations with the Canadian military only added fuel to the fire. Kanye described him as a handler, a figure whose role went far beyond personal training and into the realm of mind control. For Kanye, this was just the beginning, as he claimed Hollywood is teeming with such individuals whose job is to manipulate and silence stars. And then we have to take a look at Diddy's role in this particular context. Kanye alleged that Diddy acted as a go-between for these so-called puppet masters, pressuring him to backtrack on his public statements. Repeated texts and attempts to meet in person only heightened Kanye's suspicions that Diddy was working on behalf of the powerful people Kanye had been exposing. It's a disturbing narrative, one of influence and coercion that suggests Hollywood's most famous faces are controlled more tightly than anyone could have imagined. But where does Aaron Carter fit into this chilling puzzle? As we mentioned, in his final days, Aaron made one last attempt to reach out to Kanye. And it seems like this wasn't just a casual message, it was a cry for help. Aaron had long been vocal about feeling targeted by powerful figures in the industry, and his message hinted that he believed Kanye might be the only one who'd understand him. Tragically, Aaron's death came before that conversation could ever happen, leaving a cloud of suspicion and unanswered questions in its wake. This connection between Aaron and Kanye takes on an eerie weight when paired with the broader allegations Kanye has made about systemic manipulation in Hollywood. Was Aaron seeking Kanye's advice on how to navigate the dangerous terrain of exposing industry secrets? Or was he already in too deep, realizing too late that the forces he was up against wouldn't let him escape unscathed? As more details come to light, the parallels between Aaron's story and Kanye's warnings about handlers and industry puppets become harder to ignore. Aaron Carter wasn't just battling addiction and mental health issues, he was living a life filled with fear, mistrust, and warnings that now feel chillingly prophetic. In the months before his death, Aaron spoke openly about feeling unsafe, claiming he was being targeted by powerful people, and even comparing his situation to that of Britney Spears. His strained relationships with his family only deepened his sense of isolation. From accusing his brother, Nick, of abuse to claiming his ex-fiancée, Melanie Martin, was conspiring with his family to place him under a conservatorship, Aaron believed he was surrounded by betrayal. And just days before his passing, his cryptic messages online hinted at secrets too dangerous to keep. And then there's his final tweet to Kanye West, which felt less like a casual remark and more like a plea for help. With each revelation, it becomes harder to dismiss Aaron's fears as paranoia, and easier to wonder if he was onto something far more sinister. Hollywood isn't just about glitz and glamour, it's a world where power often overshadows morality. And Aaron Carter's tragic story may just be the tip of the iceberg. His death shines a light on a disturbing pattern of exploitation and manipulation in the entertainment industry, with young stars like Aaron and even Justin Bieber allegedly subjected to control by some of the industry's most powerful figures. The recent lawsuits against Diddy only add fuel to the fire, with claims that paint a picture of a man deeply embedded in Hollywood's darkest practices. But Aaron's life and the struggles he faced tell a larger story, one of an industry that builds up its brightest talents only to abandon them when they're no longer profitable. His story isn't just about one man's tragedy, it's a call to action, a reminder that behind the flashing lights and red carpets are real lives at stake. As investigations continue and new revelations emerge, one thing is certain: the truth is out there, and it's only a matter of time before it all comes crashing down. Thanks for watching! We've hit an incredible milestone, 100 subscribers. I'm so excited to keep growing this channel with all of you. Next stop, 500 subs. Be sure to check out the next video. Don't miss it.